So I didn't get to finish everything I wanted to do on my break last week, but we're together. That's what matters, right? I hate Twitter because I was gonna film this hours ago, but then I saw something that pissed me off and now it's like a whole thing. And listen, you guys probably already know what it's about because it's the first thing I've posted about in over a week. All I'm going to say is that there are some things that happen even when you don't want them to. You can't necessarily stop those things from happening. And if you try to, the experience for you is only going to be worse. So I implore you to think about yourself and think that maybe if you don't want someone to say something about it, you just don't put it out there. That's all I'm going to say about that. We're moving on. Now, for those of you who know, and for those of you who don't, my name is TK, your resident lunatic, and today we are watching episode 4 of season 2 of Good Omens. And thank you guys for waiting patiently while I took my little week-long break for my birthday. I had a lovely birthday. The week wasn't as relaxing as I had hoped, but that's only because life do be lifing, because life is like that sometimes, and everything turned out for the best, so we're all good. In our last episode, I have to admit it wasn't my favorite for a number of reasons, but mostly because of the way Crowley and Aziraphale were talking over Elsif's, I think that's how you pronounce her name, were talking over the street urchin's head. The episode just seemed kind of all over the place, and even when I watched it a few more times, I was still like, compared to episodes 1 and 2, this wasn't the best. And it seemed like some of my complaints really resonated with some people in the comments, specifically when it comes to Maggie and Nina. Individually, they're great, and as a concept, their romance subplot is incredibly charming, but it loses all of its potential because it seems like a lot of their character development was left on the cutting room floor. Now, you guys have explained that this is for a number of reasons, COVID restrictions, scheduling snafus. That's fine, but not knowing any of that going in, I keep using the phrase thrown under the bus, but the phrase I'm going to use now is being robbed of their agency. It just doesn't vibe with me. I get it, I do. There are just some things that you can't do because of outside situations, but that doesn't make it not disappointing. While I understand that some people have a problem with my stance on that, I'm cool with being the asshole. Going into the show, anything that happened behind the scenes, the story and background provided for them is still inadequate to me. Now, I will say for every one person who agreed with my complaints, there were 2 people who absolutely did not. And, you know, that's fine. You guys were really nice about it and very respectful. And if you disagree with me, that's fine. I really don't have a problem with it. Something that seems to pop up more and more that has been bothering me lately is that a lot of people seem to think that the previous episode was about Crowley trying to lead Aziraphale in the right direction. And I think that sort of limits Aziraphale's agency as a character. Aziraphale is still able to make his own decisions even when he's bad at it. I don't think Crowley was trying to lead Aziraphale. What they say, you lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. I didn't see that. What I saw is Crowley wrestling with the idea that life has value. And the only way the person living that life can acknowledge that is if Aziraphale does something. Episode had just as much character development for Crowley as it did for Aziraphale. I really don't see Crowley in that moment as sort of like a guide for him. I think he was more lording it over him until he realized that they can actually do something about it. There also seems to be a little bit of confusion about the kind of biblical knowledge I have. 1, it's minimal. 2, it's mostly Protestant. I was not raised Catholic. As a matter of fact, I was raised in a lot of Southern Baptist churches or non-denominational later in my teenage life. In those churches, you're often taught that angels and demons are actually active participants in God or the devil's army, and they interact with humans directly quite a lot. In Catholicism, they're more like silent observers, trying to guide you or misdirect you. I'm gonna be honest, that went absolutely over my head in the 3rd episode, so if it seemed like I didn't understand that concept, I didn't even realize it was a thing. Now, that knowledge does help me understand episode 3 better. Does it help me like it any better? Maybe not. That's besides the point. It does help me realize that that is when Crowley decided to develop a sense of self outside of what hell wanted from him. He already knew deep down that what hell wanted wasn't what he wanted. Remember, he was ready to cut and run to the ends of the universe just to avoid the whole debacle. However, Aziraphale is not allowed because heaven is constantly up his ass. Even when he tries to spread his wings, metaphorically, and relax, along comes Gabriel with this broken prophecy that seems to be talking about stuff that has actually already happened. It is hard for me to draw a conclusion on those facts alone, I'll be honest. Crowley is a lot more accustomed to choices than Aziraphale is. Then that means when Aziraphale is presented with a tough choice, he will not be able to make it, or someone will make it for him. At the slightest incentive that things will turn out for the best, he will go for that decision. And that is the only conclusion I can draw from right now. To be honest, I have puzzled over this for a while. I have recorded this particular section of conjecture for about the last 45 minutes. I don't like being flummoxed like this, but I also do like it because that means that the story is trying to challenge the viewer to think. And oh my goodness, I could go on for hours, but I won't because I don't have that long to edit. But with that being said, let's go ahead and put on our headphones and commence the drama. I left my headphones in my bedroom. I'll be back in a second. Oh, this doesn't look good. Oh, is he heading back?
I'm so late. I'm sure someone will stop.
Where did the bullet holes come from? Did I miss something? This is episode 4, right?
Just to the next town. There's a garage there.
I suppose you'd better climb in then.
Did I miss something? Oh, it's Shax. Okay.
I knew you couldn't resist somebody in distress.
Well, you stopped in front of him.
You think he would have upgraded sometime in the last 90 years, but no.
No, some people have favorites.
You have the advantage of me.
I do. Yes.
I feel like he might be a little older than her.
Now Hell's ambassador plenipotentiary to this corner of the planet.
This is feeling very litigious.
Crowley's got Gabriel, hasn't he?
Subtle.
Crowley is hiding the angel Gabriel.
So close. So close, Shax. So close, baby.
Why Crowley should risk destruction for you?
Oh. Well, I'm a little bit his type. It's fucking...
Doesn't have Gabriel. Where would he put him?
That's a good question.
Gabriel would never go to Crowley. He hates Crowley.
He hurt you.
Gabriel doesn't hate Aziraphale that much, apparently.
I'm afraid I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't either. I've missed a couple things.
How did I tell you where Gabriel is?
You didn't. You have now.
He still didn't, though. Good job, Shax. You found out precisely nothing. I mean, I guess they found out context clues, but that's about as good as it's gonna get. 1941. Yeah, and we saw this in episode 1. I mean, not episode 1, I think it was episode 2, but season 1. Regardless, we know this already. Sirens like that are the single most terrifying thing. Regardless of whether they're tornado sirens, some sort of warning siren. It taps into like a very primal fear.
Oh, I forgot all the books.
See what I mean?
Lift home.
Oh, Mark Gatiss is still alive. His writing career might be dead, but he's still alive. I do like the idea of hell being an eternal line, waiting for something that never happens. All the Nazis in hell. That's a nice touch. Need to get a better compression valve, bro. Or just be faster.
Could always put in a word for you.
Why? Oh, Shax is trying to get dirt on Crowley specifically, and is recruiting agents. Which is kind of odd, because they kind of depend on Crowley now, because they don't seem to know what to do. I guess they were never formally trained, because it's hell. Hell needs a dentist.
Well, there must be something I can do for you. In return? Forget it, will you?
You draw more attention to it, the worse things are gonna get.
Bravo! Sophocles, Shakespeare.
People are dying, Aziraphale. Well, I mean, that's his character flaw, right? Speaking of Crowley, you guys have been telling me that I've been pronouncing his name wrong. It's my accent. It's probably not gonna stop anytime soon.
Real sissy type. A proper figure.
Oh, Jesus.
In a church on hallowed ground.
He didn't like any of it, to be fair. No, don't.
Don't you, Mrs. H. me, you cheeky sod. I paid you for 40 bottles and I bloody well want them.
Damn.
Has just been arrested as a deserter.
No, put your hand down. No, last time there was a magic act, there was a lot of secondhand embarrassment. Put your fucking hand down. Azzy, honey, you're not as smart as you think you are.
Don't worry about that. I recently qualified as an authorized miracle blocker.
You stop all that very easily, bud.
That feels like a ticket to a hand wave, but I'll get over it.
The clicker.
I'm telling you, hell needs a dentist, man. I'm sure there are lots of dentists in hell. I know the one who did my root canal better be.
Commandant Glux.
Seems like a fair punishment. Just saying.
As newly inculcated members of the undead, you will experience periods of bloodlust which you will have to satisfy.
So, some brains are gonna be eaten. I hate zombies. Even when played for laughs, I still hate zombies.
It is sure to please.
This feels like a cameo.
I am so sorry.
All right, I'll say it. I'm starving.
Well, time to get ate. Didn't y'all just watch a man get his brain ate? Come on. I guess you can't have an apocalypse story without zombies. Lots of head ripping in this episode.
I'll be honest, that wasn't unpleasant.
I mean, it wasn't for you guys.
Chickeny.
They say it tastes like pork. He was drunk! I mean, come on. That was meat marinated in probably brandy. And brandy from the 40s.
He's repeating on me. Sorry.
That was a bad joke. I know this is supposed to be funny. I hate zombies. For a number of reasons. So this episode seems to be more of a flashback than anything else.
Aha! Professor Hoffman's modern magic.
This is going to go so badly.
To Mr. Fell, that's me, a wonderful student.
He said wonderful, not good at
I'm an expert lip reader. Hand me those.
Apparently you couldn't invest in curtains.
For instance, turning a common turnip into an inkwell.
Okay, well then do that.
Banana.
Fish.
Banana fish. Oh no! Oh god! Sorry, that's not a good joke.
Nutmeg.
Banana, fish, gorilla, shoelace with a dash of nutmeg.
Zombies aren't too good at lip reading, I suppose.
But that's a trick for close quarters, you know? What you do tonight has to be bigger.
Or, Crowley, you could just tell him to not. You could just tell him to not.
Well, there is Will Goldstone's magic shop. But
That's probably a better place to be.
If that doesn't make you a professional conjurer, I don't know what does.
Crowley, this is not the time for leading Aziraphale in the right direction. You need to be frank with him. I feel like we're about to find out what Crowley meant by it's always too late. Oh, Nazi's so excited. I just don't see this ending well, because his magic act in the first episode, in the first season, was not great. He said hand it to him. How do you refill it?
Well, a sort of natural dexterity.
The amount of dread I already feel.
Now, if I gather up the ends here and collect all of the unequal ends here, and they all stretch to become exactly the same length. You see, the big piece is the same length as the medium-sized piece, and the short piece is the same length as the other two. There's the long piece, there's the medium piece, and there's the short piece.
I was really hoping we would see Maggie's, like, great-great-grandfather, or great-grandfather in this case. Oh, no.
No. I'm afraid that's not for
No, that's a little advanced.
And another £4.15 shillings for the
Aziraphale is in over his head.
in case I get into a scrape.
Oh, he likes the novelty of it.
On your head be it. I mean, I have warned you.
Yeah, I mean, you signed the waiver. I mean, shit. Oh.
As a demon, you must have fired off a lot of guns.
No.
I'll do it. But if anything, neither of us wants the paperwork, do we?
Shake on it, Azzy. Come on, you asked him. Oh, wrong ring. Ew, the noises they make is really getting to me. Oh, this man's about to get his brain. Yeah, he was just doing his job. Respect retail employees, please. This is a very small stage for a West End theater in the 40s. I really don't want to watch this. This is gonna be awful. Azzy, honey, are you sure you're doing the right thing? Of course he's not. Oh, Christ.
Is anyone here familiar with using firearms?
Azzy, they're all soldiers.
We just need to do a little something. Check.
The other way. There you go.
Miracles.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh god. Why do I have such a pit in my stomach?
Into an inkwell.
That's just a regular turnip. This is so sad. Oh, please.
Meet a stubborn. So,
Like, oh shit, I gotta start reading this better.
a round of applause for this total stranger.
Yeah, see, now you're in trouble, Crowley. See,
As
this is
to,
when you ditch,
it right
leave,
full.
leave, hit the bricks. If shit sucks, hit the bricks. You can just leave, go.
Now, sir.
When were Polaroids invented? It doesn't matter. Why am I being so picky? Oh, this is their problem. They never talk about shit, and it's always a recipe for disaster. Oh my god.
On my signal, fire the rifle at my head, and in that explosive moment, I will attempt to catch that bullet in my teeth.
Martin Sheen has such a winning smile. Like, he just has such a great smile. When he's on camera, he's just so charming. Even when he's playing a very, very odd vampire. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. This woman has gone through a lot. I actually don't fault her for being so mean. She's a theater manager in the middle of World War II. I'm talking because the suspense is actually killing me. This is actually quite a lot. Aziraphale always comes through in the end. Why did that make me so uneasy? If I was the theater manager, I'd be like, y'all get out of here. I don't want to see either of y'all faces ever again. Get the hell out. Aziraphale trusted Crowley, and Aziraphale came through.
Oh no, we've never had the pleasure, but we have. Haven't we?
Have we? You're from Requisitions, bro.
Just before the fall? Doing dubious
Sure.
battle on the plains of heaven?
Yep, bro, I don't remember high school, alright?
Fell the Marvelous, aka...
Aziraphale. Poking fun at all the people who couldn't pronounce his name before the show came out. Because I sure as hell couldn't.
The miraculous bullet catch requires the use of a trusted stooge and confidant.
Where did you get that booklet?
Maybe you should spend less time gloating, my guy.
I'm Crowley. Shall we?
Oh, we shan't. It's ridiculous.
Thank you, Crowley.
And somehow still getting on, while demons like me graft for hundreds and hundreds of millennia and never get a sniff of a promotion.
To be fair, you don't necessarily seem super great at your job.
Well, you can't leave us like this.
You need to make us into living humans.
No, we're litigious here. We didn't say. We said freedom from damnation.
Might be all right.
It's not.
Hey, there are vacancies in temptation.
Shax, are you setting homeboy up for failure?
There was a miracle blocker in the room. I saw you put it back in the envelope.
Who needs a miracle when you've had private lessons?
Rolled 20 on the sleight of hand check. Sorry, I've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate.
And?
Well, only when you're under pressure, I guess.
Shall we retire the act?
Perhaps.
Until there's an 11-year-old's birthday party.
I knew you'd come through for me. You always do.
You said trust me.
And you did.
That's the trouble with you lot. You tend to see things in black and white.
I'm lawful neutral, bitch!
Shades of dark grey.
Shades of very light grey. I rather fancy.
So, I can't dip into the moral complexity too much, but you know, I'm willing to like dip a toe. Dip a toe, dip a hand, a little bit, dab. There's one thing about Shax. She does have a sense of fashion. Definitely determined.
State your business.
You're not exempt from the rules.
Or I will rearrange your vital organs and hang them on the wall.
Sounds like, you know, par for the course for hell, but we did see a man get his brain repeatedly eaten for an eternity by a spider, so...
Maybe they want us to think Gabriel's in Edinburgh.
Shax is so brutally misinformed.
No, he's not in Edinburgh. Why not? Because he's in the bookshop.
Oh, never mind.
Now that we've located Gabriel, what do we do?
Mind your business.
You are hereby authorizing me to storm the Angel's bookshop, sending wave after wave of demons to besiege it until it falls and we capture the Archangel, destroying anything and everything that stands in our way.
No.
No. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. That sounds ridiculous.
I'm commanding you to do it.
Oh.
I can do that.
Sorry, the teeth are a little bit like a jump scare. Hi, Nina. I see we're doubling up on patterns today.
Now go back to where I parked you.
Okay. Sorry. Break up.
Very uneventful journey indeed. No strange things at all.
No, tell him. Tell him. This is important. This is very important. You need to tell him what happened.
Any more clues from the mystery of the missing Archangel?
Not exactly.
Oh my god, the fact that they're not telling each other these things is wild to me. Guys, they're both trying to do this noble thing where they're protecting each other from the information they just found out.
And I can guarantee you, it will be a night to remember.
Yes it will. If my reaction to this episode seemed at all more subdued than my usual ones, it's because there was a lot more to pay attention to. If it seemed like I was rambling through certain parts that were supposed to be suspenseful, it was because I was desperately trying to take the edge off because I was actually quite nervous. Even though it seems like there are things that are very small, details that are very small, things that shouldn't be that big of a deal, they are, because the situation is just so dire, potentially. And you learn about Aziraphale in this episode is that he's sneaky when it counts. And we learned this in the previous season, right? That when it counts, he comes through. The only reason why he seems flaky is because he can be very cold. He seems to miss more of the finer details that are very, very important. That moment is when they finally started to trust each other implicitly. They can both be destroyed if either side finds out that they're hanging out with each other. So they also have the need to protect each other. They often justify not telling each other what's to come because they feel the need to protect each other. I do have to note, if Crowley knew what was up with the car, wouldn't he have been able to know that Shax was in it? That's something that just occurred to me. Maybe we'll find that in episode 5, maybe it's a plot hole, whatever. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but trying to figure out what is going on between Gabriel and Bees. And it was really weird to me that he was not shown this episode, because at first it seemed like they were genuinely concerned for Gabriel. Now they seem to be like, well, launch a whole army of people on the library. I don't quite know what they're planning, and I know that they're supposed to, and I just would have thought that I had guessed by now, because I thought that perhaps with the fly in the box that Bees was maybe keeping an eye on Gabriel and sort of putting up a front. That was my theory anyway, but it seems to be something different. To be honest, we're not supposed to know until the penultimate moment. I'm just a little disappointed in myself that I haven't been able to guess by now, so I hurt my own feelings. I did like this episode much more than the previous one. I don't think the zombies were terribly necessary. I understand why they did it, but I just hate zombies, so my personal biases are getting in the way. There were a lot of things this episode needed. Nazi zombies were not one of them. Regardless, I like this a lot better than the previous episode. This episode seemed to really put into perspective Crowley and Aziraphale's relationship and how in the modern era that it has drastically changed. With that being said, please like if you like this video. Please subscribe if you really like this video and would like to see more. If you really, really like me, you can find me on Patreon, where I post full, uncut, uncensored reactions the day before they go up on YouTube. So when I post on Friday, they go up on Thursday, and the rare occasion I post on a Wednesday, you'll see them on Tuesday. You can find me on any piece of social media: Tumblr, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, but mostly Tumblr because TikTok sucks and fuck Twitter. And with that being said, stay weird, lovelies, and happy eating!